In a gold mining town in Eastern Congo, a family is burying someone they love at home. That choice to stay home and die rather than seek care is repeating itself across an entire province right now. And it's not because help doesn't exist, it's because for a lot of people in this region, the hospital feels more dangerous than the disease, because it is where the soldiers are. To understand why, you have to look past the virus itself. That's what we're unpacking today. The latest Ebola outbreak, why sick people are staying home, the geopolitics fueling it all, and crucially, what could actually be done. The Democratic Republic of the Congo is the second largest country in Africa, home to more than 100 million people, and arguably the richest country on Earth in raw natural resources. The cobalt in your phone battery? Most likely Congolese. The tantalum in your laptop? Often Congolese. And yet it consistently ranks among the poorest nations on the planet. In 2022, the DRC spent roughly $24 per person per year on health. The global average is over $1,300. More than 60% of Congolese live in poverty, and most health facilities still run on pay cash up front to get care. Now layer a hemorrhagic virus on top of that, and a war, and 130 years of history that taught people the outside world shows up to take, not to help. Let's start with the present. In May 2026, the DRC declared its 17th Ebola outbreak since the virus was first identified there in 1976. This one is in the northeast, Ituri province, and on May 17th, the World Health Organization declared it a public health emergency of international concern, its highest level of alert, the same top-level alarm used for COVID-19. Here's what makes this one frightening. There are several strains of Ebola. The most common one in Congo, the Ebola Zaire, now has an effective vaccine and treatments. This outbreak is a different strain, Bundibugyo, and Bundibugyo has no approved vaccine and no approved treatment. The numbers are moving fast, and the data is messy because of where this is happening. But as of late May 2026, the DRC reported on the order of 125 laboratory-confirmed cases and roughly 900 suspected cases, with well over 200 suspected deaths. A handful of cases crossed the border into Uganda, including the capital Kampala, and this is happening immediately after the previous outbreak. The DRC's 16th Ebola outbreak was only declared over on December 1st. 2025. That one killed 45 of 64 people infected, a fatality rate above 70%. So, back-to-back outbreaks, a strain with no vaccine in one of the most dangerous regions on Earth. To understand why it's spreading, you have to understand why people won't come to the hospital. This is the heart of it. With Ebola, the single most important thing is to isolate the sick and bury the dead safely because the virus spreads through bodily fluids, and a corpse is at its most contagious. When people die at home and families wash and bury the body themselves, the virus jumps to the next person. So why would anyone choose that? It's not ignorance. It's a stack of very rational fears built on very real experiences. Here are the big ones. Deep mistrust of the hospital itself. In the current outbreak, local health workers describe people who believe Ebola is a mystic illness, or that hospital staff are the ones giving people the disease. During past outbreaks, this hardened into something darker, a belief that the whole response is fake, a money-making scheme. There's even a local phrase for it, the Ebola business, the idea that outsiders profit from the panic. Conspiracy theories tied to land and minerals, in a region where foreign powers and armed groups really do fight over minerals. Rumors that Ebola was brought here on purpose, to depopulate the area, to clear people off resource-rich land, don't sound crazy to everyone. When your lived experience is decades of outsiders coming to extract value, a stranger in a hazmat suit telling you to hand over your dying relative is a hard sell. attacks on clinics, and clinics that get attacked back. This isn't hypothetical. In the current outbreak, angry crowds have set isolation tents and treatment facilities on fire, sometimes after refusing to believe a loved one died of Ebola, and suspected patients have fled in the chaos. In a previous outbreak, treatment centers were attacked over 100 times in a single year, and health workers were wounded and killed. So now police and the military guard the hospitals, which of course makes them look even more like instruments of the state, deepening the very mistrust that started the cycle. You have to pay, and you might not come back. Step back from Ebola for a second. In normal times, Congolese families often have to pay cash in advance for medical care. For a subsistence farmer, one serious illness can wipe out everything. So the hospital is already associated with debt and ruin. Add a disease where the survival odds feel hopeless, and die at home with family can feel like the only dignified, affordable option. The hospital itself becomes dangerous to avoid other illnesses. Here's the cruel twist. When fear empties the hospitals, people also stop coming for malaria, measles, childbirth, and malnutrition. Experts warn that in these outbreaks, the diseases we already know how to treat can kill more people than Ebola itself, simply because the health system shuts down. Children under 5 who die from malaria in huge numbers are the most at risk. Now, why is the health system this broken in this specific region? Because Eastern Congo is, in the words of one of Ebola's co-discoverers, describing a past outbreak, the worst-case scenario, because it is a deadly virus spreading inside a war zone. Eastern Congo has more than 100 armed groups operating across North Kivu, South Kivu, and Ituri. The DRC now hosts over 7 million internally displaced people, the largest internal displacement crisis on Earth. People constantly on the move are nearly impossible to vaccinate, trace, or isolate. The dominant force in the latest fighting is a rebel group called M23. UN investigators and Western governments say M23 is backed by neighboring Rwanda, with thousands of Rwandan troops reportedly fighting alongside it, though Rwanda denies it. In January 2025, M23 seized Goma, the largest city in Eastern Congo. In February 2025, it took Bukavu, the second largest. Why are they fighting? Follow the minerals. This is where the geopolitics gets uncomfortable for the rest of us. Eastern Congo sits on some of the world's largest deposits of coltan and cobalt, the metals that power smartphones, laptops, and electric vehicle batteries. The DRC is the world's leading producer of cobalt and tantalum. Investigations have found that minerals are smuggled out of Congo and re-exported through neighbors. One analysis noted Rwanda earned over $1 billion in mineral exports in a single year, and Uganda exported billions in gold, despite having limited domestic reserves of their own. As one expert put it, there's a war economy on both sides of the border. The violence isn't a side effect of the resource trade. For some actors, it's the business model, and it prolongs the war. The diplomacy. There have been attempts at peace. In December 2025, Rwanda and the DRC signed what were called the Washington Peace Accords. But by March 2026, the U.S. Treasury had sanctioned the Rwanda Defense Force and senior officers for what it called blatant violations of that deal. Ceasefires are signed. The fighting continues. Now, connect it back to the virus. You cannot trace contacts when villages are being attacked. You cannot build trust while bombs are falling. As the WHO Director General put it, you cannot run a vaccination campaign through territory controlled by armed groups. The war and the outbreak feed each other. To understand the mistrust, you have to go back well before this outbreak, before this war. In 1885, King Leopold II of Belgium claimed the entire Congo basin, not for Belgium, but as his personal property. He called it the Congo Free State. It was one of the most brutal extraction regimes in modern history. Forced labor for rubber and ivory, with mutilation and killing used as tools of control. Estimates of the death toll over those decades run into the millions. In 1908, international outrage forced Leopold to hand the territory to the Belgian state. Colonial rule continued, extractive, segregated, and offering Congolese almost no path to education or self-government. The Congo became independent on June 30, 1960, with Patrice Lumumba as its first prime minister. Within months, the country fractured. Lumumba was assassinated in early 1961, a killing in which Cold War foreign powers were deeply implicated. Independence arrived, and stability did not. Then came Mobutu Sese Seko, who seized power in 1965, renamed the country Zaire, and ruled for over 3 decades, propped up by Western backers as a Cold War ally while he looted the treasury and let infrastructure rot. At independence, Congo actually had a relatively functional health system. Decades of mismanagement, corruption, and underinvestment hollowed it out. After the 1994 Rwandan genocide, the fallout spilled across the border. The First Congo War, 1996-97, toppled Mobutu. The Second Congo War, 1998-2003, drew in 9 African nations and is sometimes called Africa's World War. An estimated 5.4 million people died, mostly from disease and starvation, not bullets. That is the inheritance. A century of extraction, broken promises, foreign meddling, and a health system that was deliberately starved. When people in Eastern Congo distrust an outside authority showing up to help, history is on their side. So, what works? Not a magic cure, but there are concrete, proven things that improve both outbreak response and everyday life. Here's where solutions actually live. Win trust through local people, not outsiders in suits. The single biggest lesson from past Congolese outbreaks: responses fail when they're imposed from outside and succeed when they're led by familiar, local, trusted faces. Community leaders, local nurses, religious institutions, and survivors. Abolish the cash up front barrier. Make essential care free at the point of use. Fund the boring infrastructure. Only near 12% of primary health facilities meet international standards. Keep normal health services running during outbreaks. There is no health without peace. You can't trace contacts while bombs are falling. Invest in Congolese capacity for the next one. One genuinely hopeful note: the DRC confirmed its 2025 outbreak using its own National Biomedical Research Institute in Kinshasa. Congolese scientists and responders increasingly lead these efforts. Funding local labs, training local epidemiologists, and pre-positioning vaccines and treatments turns each outbreak into faster, locally owned containment and builds the everyday system that improves millions of lives between emergencies. So, when we ask, why are people in Congo dying at home instead of going to the hospital? The honest answer isn't about a virus or about ignorance. It's about a hospital that costs money they don't have. A response guarded by soldiers in a region terrorized by armed groups. A war fought over the minerals in their soil, and a century of being on the wrong end of other people's extraction. The question is whether the world considers Congolese lives worth the investment, finally. Thanks for watching.